one of his patients. Marilyn, at the time that she went to see Dr. Bessel Van Der Kolk, she was in her mid-30s. She was a tall, athletic woman who worked full-time as a nurse. She worked herself through schooling, so pretty much she was a badass. Unfortunately, however, she didn't feel alive. She felt numb, and she expressed that she was just going through motion of life, but not actually feeling it. And to deal with that numbness, she started to cut herself. But when she realized what she was doing, it scared her. She then decided to use alcohol. That reminded her of her father. She then decided to excessively work out and play tennis because that kept her feeling alive. She also had distrust toward men, and she noticed very similar behavior and reaction toward men, especially if they were in bed with her. But one night made her question her reality. When she was with this guy that she actually liked, and she invited him over to her house, and the two enjoyed the evening together and then just went to sleep together. But during the night when he moved, he ended up brushing her leg, and that brought a very scary reaction from Marilyn. She started to scream, which then caused the guy to freak out, and he left the place. She felt ashamed afterwards and decided to go see professional therapy. Now, there's a thing. If in your own life there's something that is occurring, there's some kind of reaction that brings shame afterwards, and you feel deep inside that that's not okay, I ask you to put the curiosity hat on and wonder what it truly can be and seek professional help. But please be mindful. Find the professional help that truly wants to help you and not just diagnose you with a bunch of different disorders and put you on multiple different medication, because medication is a numbing substance and not a recovery. And yes, the recovery part is a bit scary, but I promise you, you can do it, because I did. So can you. And you'll come out of that place way stronger. And so during her treatments, Dr. Bessel Van Der Kolk had seen some of the very similar behavior patterns that reminded him of incest abuse. And when he requested Marilyn to draw him a picture of her family or some of the memories or her childhood moments, she ended up drawing a very scary picture. There was this little girl, her eyes were very wide with fear. She seems to be screaming for help. She had what looked like ropes around her neck, and they were being pulled by 3 figures. One seems to be a woman with no eyes. The second one was a scary man with erect penis, and the third one was a scary, smaller male. Now, when Dr. Van Der Kolk started the therapy with her, Marilyn could not pinpoint where the issues were coming from. She thought she had a normal childhood, even though when he asked her about it, she didn't have much of memories of her childhood. As she was a little girl, to survive the abuse she went through, her brain stored the trauma deep into the unconscious part, and thus why she didn't have the memories of her childhood. Because she never looked into it, she assumed she had a normal, happy childhood. She also was diagnosed with autoimmune disease, and strangely, as she was going through her recovery, she started to have eyesight problems, which could connect to this girl with big eyes, scared big eyes, and maybe it was a connection that she didn't really want to face it. But Marilyn didn't give up. She was a very courageous woman, and she kept on going. And I ask you the same. Don't give up. Be courageous and keep on going. The traumatic memory started to come back, and not as memory with beginning, middle, and end, but as flashbacks. Dr. Bessel Van Der Kolk had noticed there are similarities between her traumatic event and the soldiers with PTSD. The memories came back as flashback. She remembered pieces. She remembered some sounds of it, some visions, some feelings of it. She remembered how her father had sexually abused her when she was much younger, and how she, as a little girl, disconnected from that event and as if she was watching it from above. And then after, she would run to her mother for safety, and her mother would not provide her any protection. She then remembered moments where her older brother and her father were physically abusing her and calling her names and laughing at her pain. This represents the picture that she drew from her childhood as the three scary beings holding her down with the rope, choking her. However, being still helped Marilyn. It helped her realize that she is no longer that little girl that could not escape, that was forced to experience this abuse throughout her childhood. She was now in her mid-30s, and that helped her bring her to present and not take her back into the childhood trauma. Meditation helps with being still. Mindfulness also helps with being still. Being still is when we concentrate on the present moment. Where are you now? And meditation helps tremendously with that, because at that time when you meditate, you're training your brain to only concentrate on this moment. There is no other moment but now. I would highly recommend anyone to do meditation. And I tell you this, meditation had helped me as well. If I didn't meditate, I would have probably never started my recovery journey. But at one point, I went through so much pain, I've taken a lot of wrong turns, that I started to question, why is this happening to me? And as I questioned, I learned some of the things that could help me with healing. And one of them was meditation. There is so many information on meditation, a lot of experiments done with meditation to prove that meditation does help. There is science behind it to back it up as well. And if you're having a hard time meditating, that's okay. Don't give up.